Howdy, folks. Woody Wallace from NeedCoffee.com here. Back again for another Wayhomer review. For the uninitiated, here's how it works. Oh, good Lord. I turned down my air. That's how it works. But I just left the cinema. When we saw a film, cinema's back that way, and I'm going to tell you about it on my way home. And we're here today to talk about Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, whatever it's called. Owls Quiet on the Western Front. What is it? Didn't it like change names? Wasn't it like, I don't know, the Owls of Ga'Hoole or the Guardians of Ga'Hoole? And then they realized nobody's gonna go see a movie called The Guardians of Ga'Hoole. Anyway, alright, so synopsis. Owls. Okay. Cool 3D CG owls. A world of them. And they have their own legend about the good guys, the uber good guys, called the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, I guess. And basically there's these stories that owls grow up hearing about the Guardians and them kicking ass or tail or whatever. And they're thought to be stories. But our hero, Soren, and his brother find themselves in a predicament where if there certainly is evil in the world, so one would hope that there's good as well. And so they go in search of, Soren goes in search of the good, hoping that the stories are true. That's good. Now here's the deal about this film. First of all, I don't know if you saw the trailers. They were playing in front of everything for months. And two things struck me about the trailers. Number one, they're gorgeous. I mean, they're 3D, CG, gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. So, if nothing else, you knew the film was going to be pretty to look at. And number two, well, does the film deliver on that promise of sheer, feathery CG art? Yes. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. By the way, I forgot to tell you, it is in... So, it's really nice. The number two thing that I took away from that trailer was, I could not take it seriously. I mean, I'm sorry. It's like, for some reason, something about owls. I just couldn't take it seriously. I mean, come on. You give me Watership Down, I was fine with it, and those are freaking bunnies. But something about owls, I just couldn't take it seriously. And maybe, like I said, the title didn't help matters. Ga'Hoole. It sounds like somebody trying to say ghoul with a ridiculous foreign accent. So, yeah. I was kind of afraid about it. But it was being directed by Zack Snyder, who, did 300 and did Watchmen, and suddenly he's doing cute owl movie, it seemed. And then, of course, now he's slated to play... He's not slated to play. That would be funny. He's slated to direct the new Superman movie, but of course, since you all have been highly trained, you know to expect a new Superman movie when the closing credits are rolling of it. Not get excited before then, because we went through that too much with the last Superman film. Anyway, my point is, it was hard to take the idea of the film seriously. So going into the film, the deal is, gorgeous. Can I take it seriously? Kind of. They do a really good job of making what is, in essence, owl foo seem like it's not stupid. I mean, the battle sequences, I mean, that sounds crazy to say the owl battle sequences. The owl battle sequences are pretty crazy. And it's actually a really good study in how to use slow motion and how to use fight, how to shoot a fight so that it makes sense. So that you don't feel like you're going the whole time, but you also are getting some slow motion in which to emphasize cool bits. So that's actually good. The story's not bad. The characters are not bad. In some cases, a little simplistic, like with the brother, which didn't make any sense to me. And some of the names are not very good. I mean, I know this is probably from the original, because this is a whole series of novels. There's like 8 books of this series or something like that. but Metalbeak, otherwise known as Owl de Mort or something like that. That was kind of hard to take seriously. Metalbeak? Really? Metalbeak. That sounds like a really hideous 80s death metal band. Metalbeak. So anyway, so there were bits that worked and bits that didn't. Story, yes. Some of the characterizations, not so much. Metalbeak, not so much from just the name. But it performed a lot better than I thought it would. And it was not necessarily an entirely cute owl movie, because these owls were kicking ass. These owls had blades and stuff, just like, again, owl food, and it was actually some bits were pretty intense, partly enhanced by the fact that it was so gorgeous. Such gorgeous, feathery violence. But no, little kids probably would get freaked out because there are some scary bits. But I think if you've got like 9, 10-year-old kid, especially a boy, they probably dig it. Girls too, because it's very pretty and also violent, because these days girls are into pretty violence, I guess. I don't know. So yeah. Was I displeased by the film? No. I mean, was I a little bit surprised that it was as good as it was? Yes, because again, looking at the trailer, I wasn't expecting much of anything. But I would say if you've got kids, it's probably worth seeing just to have an excuse to see it on the big screen, because it is really, really gorgeous. It really is. But if you don't have kids, I'd probably just wait. I mean, because it is gorgeous, but I mean, there's lots of gorgeous stuff. I mean, if you really want something gorgeous, like, buy the Blu-ray of Planet Earth and watch that, on your high-def thing at home, if you're worried about the 3D and everything. And the 3D was actually handled quite well, with the exception of a couple of in-your-face bits that were a little amusing. It actually just enhanced everything that was going on. It was a good usage of 3D, which I know is rare, especially for Warner Brothers, because they do Clash of the Titans. Anyway, so the point being, if you have a reason to go see it, go see a matinee. You'd be okay with it. For kids, I think it would be a good kids movie, and the reason it's doing so well is because there's really nothing else out right now for kids. But otherwise, I think you could probably skip it. I'm thinking 3 out of 5 cups. I would have given it more, but the shortcomings that we already mentioned, and some really horrible poppy songs that got thrown in there that just completely took me out of what was going on. Like, I understand that a montage needs some music behind it, but I mean, be a little choosier, okay? But anyway, so there you go. Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, or the Ga'Hoole Owls, or whatever they are. 3 out of 5 cups. So there you have it. Anyway, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy these things. As always, we mentioned, if you stumble anything on Need Coffee, it's extremely helpful. Or share it, retweet it, put it on Facebook. It's extremely helpful for anything that we have on Need Coffee, because that spreads the word about us, which is what we need. So, thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you next time. Owls quiet on the Western Front. Owl in the family. Something. I don't know.